Useful properties of pomegranate for the body. Nutritional value of pomegranate. The caloric value of pomegranate is small. Only 68 kcal per 100 grams. There are almost no fats in it, 0.3% of the total mass. But carbohydrates pomegranate contains more than many other fruits. 16.6 grams. For comparison, this is almost as much as grapes. However, it contains about 1% proteins, which is more than decent for a fresh fruit. So, pomegranate is a low-calorie product with a pretty decent carbohydrate content, which has a certain impact on its beneficial properties. Pomegranate vitamins. Of course, such a super useful fruit like pomegranate should contain large doses of vitamins. However, this is not entirely true. For example, vitamin C, one of the main vitamins of pomegranate, which influences its beneficial properties, barely reaches 12%. Think about it, only 12% of an adult's daily requirement. Even a tomato or banana has more vitamin C. As you know, vitamin C activates special immune cells to fight viruses, prevents bleeding gums and scurvy, contributes to the formation of strong bones, and of course, it slows down aging, showing the properties of a powerful antioxidant. The second vitamin of pomegranate is vitamin K, but its content of 16.4 mcg does not exceed 14% of the daily norm. Vitamin K strengthens the walls of blood vessels and capillaries, promotes wound healing and is responsible for blood coagulation. Another important vitamin of this fruit is vitamin E. This antioxidant and vitamin of youth pomegranate contains within 7% of the daily requirement. The B group is headed by folic acid. In terms of quantitative content, B9 in the fruit is 38 mcg or 9.5% of the daily requirement, also from the vitamins of the B group. Vitamin B5 stands out -7.5% of the daily requirement. This anti-infectious compound is actively involved in protein and fat metabolism, neutralizes toxins, affects hair growth, is involved in the formation of red blood cells and affects emotional balance. Finally, it is worth mentioning about B1, B2 and B3 whose content ranges from 5% to 2% respectively. From all this we can conclude that, contrary to popular belief, pomegranate does not stand out with a particularly high content of individual vitamins. For example, like bell peppers, which contain from 100% to 300% of vitamin C, depending on the color. At the same time, pomegranate has a significant variety of vitamins in its composition, and all of them a little bit at a time. Is a special unique vitamin complex, mutually reinforcing the beneficial properties of pomegranate. Minerals. Pomegranate. Pomegranates contain the most important macro and microelements. First, it is potassium, phosphorus and iron and magnesium, in quantities of 9%, 5.1%, 3% and 3% of the daily allowance respectively. So potassium provides muscle contractions, including the smooth operation of the heart, water salt and pH balance, activates the production of enzymes and brain function. At the same time, phosphorus. Pomegranate affects the strength of bones, is necessary for nerve tissue, is involved in metabolic processes and maintains the acid-alkaline balance of the human body. Especially among the trace elements stands out boron -54, 4 mcg, which corresponds to 78% of the daily norm. Boron affects the mineralization of bones and activates cells that repair joints. It also promotes the assimilation of magnesium. Calcium and phosphorus fights inflammation and damage, affecting active skin cells. Moreover, such trace element as boron increases the time of excretion of important vitamin D from the body, which helps to avoid its deficiency. It also affects the hormonal balance, provoking the production of estradiol and testosterone. The following trace elements that pomegranate is rich in are rubidium 38% and vanadium 35%. Rubidium has an anti-allergic effect, participates in hematopoiesis and blood pressure regulation, increases the body's resistance to oxygen deprivation, while vanadium has a positive effect on liver function, healthy blood vessels and activation of phagocytes that absorb foreign microorganisms and disease cells. The salts of copper, cobalt, thallium, molybdenum, manganese, chromium, zinc and selenium also play a role in the beneficial properties of pomegranate. Nutrients. In fact, non-nutrients or phytochemical components have a significant impact on the beneficial properties of pomegranate. Among the phytocomponents of pomegranate, the following elements deserve special attention. Tannins. These astringent-tasting substances are mainly found in the rind of the fruit and in the membranes separating the seed sacs. However, small amounts are also present in the pulp itself. Citric acid. This acid and other organic acids give the fruit its distinctive bittersweet flavor. They also have antimicrobial properties. They also have a beneficial effect on the intestines and contribute to the restoration of its beneficial microflora. Anthocyanins. They are reddish or bluish pigments from the group of flavonoids. Act on the G tract as an anti-inflammatory and antiseptic agent. In addition, Anthocyanins have a diuretic effect. They are powerful antioxidants, preventing the aging process and cancerous cell degeneration. Palatyrin. Palatyrin has alkalizing properties and has anthelmintic effects. Such a strong therapeutic effect can be achieved by consuming the inner membranes of pomegranate. Fiber and dietary fiber. Dietary fiber of pomegranate plays an important role in the correction of cholesterol in the blood and also promotes timely and easy emptying of the intestines. The benefits and harm of pomegranate for the human body. First of all, let's consider what is the benefit of pomegranate for the human body, and then its possible harm and contraindications. How useful is pomegranate for the human body? So, the usefulness of pomegranate for the body is manifested in indications for various diseases of the intestine and pomegranate. For example, pomegranate will be useful in the case of infectious diarrhea due to gastroenteritis or colitis. Such therapeutic properties are explained by the astringent and anti-inflammatory effect of this fruit on the gastrointestinal tract. Also, pomegranate will be useful and in case of flatulence or intestinal colic. By the way, amazing results have been achieved in the treatment of chronic ulcerative colitis and granulomatous colitis, the so-called Crohn's disease, with pomegranate. Therefore, if the pomegranate is so healing for a sick intestine, imagine what a powerful prevention of intestinal diseases it has. So, eat pomegranate more often to keep your intestines healthy. Pomegranate is food for the gut. Echoes Doctor of Medicine and Surgery at the University of Granada in Spain. Eating pomegranate, thanks to its astringent action, reduces the production of gastric juice. This, in turn, reduces inflammation and irritation of the stomach. Iron deficiency anemia and pomegranate. The large amount of copper in the composition of pomegranate greatly facilitates the absorption of iron. As a result, this fruit helps with anemia by enriching the blood with iron. But it is especially good for the prevention of the serious disorder, arteriosclerosis. Pomegranate contains substances that slow down the aging process of the arteries. This is due to the high content of flavonoids and antioxidant vitamins C and E. Thus, pomegranate is very useful in preventing heart attacks and strokes. Hypertension and pomegranate. Due to their high potassium content and almost no sodium, pomegranates are good to eat for those who suffer from hypertension. They help to avoid high values of both systolic and diastolic blood pressure. Dementia prevention. As it turns out, pomegranate is able to keep your mind sharp for years to come. This is facilitated by one of its antioxidants, punicologen. This compound, according to British scientists at the University of Huddersfield, prevents the development of Alzheimer's disease. Thus, fresh pomegranate juice diluted with water is especially indicated for the elderly as a preventive measure against senile dementia, metabolic disorders, and other negative factors. Pomegranates are indicated in cases of obesity. What is the usefulness of pomegranate and pomegranate juice for the human body? Gouty arthritis and excess uric acid, since they have an alkalizing effect and cleansing effect, and also pomegranates are among the products that increase the resistance of the human body to air pollution and other unfavorable environmental factors. Possible harm and contraindications of pomegranate. Undoubtedly, pomegranate is an extremely useful fruit, and for a healthy person, it is possible and necessary to consume this grainy berry. And also pomegranate is unique in that it is able to alleviate conditions and intestinal and stomach diseases. In addition, it rarely causes an allergic reaction. And here the main thing is not to overdo it, eating it kilograms. At the same time, however, should be careful with pomegranate juice persons with chronic diseases of the gastrointestinal tract, suffering from low blood pressure, with diabetes mellitus, taking medications to reduce cholesterol and blood thinning. In all such cases, it is worth consulting with your doctor. What are the benefits of pomegranate for the body of women? So, in addition to the above, let's consider in detail what is the benefit of pomegranate for the body of women. For the fair sex, pomegranate is recommended as a good rejuvenating agent. And there are as many as 3 reasons for this. First, the content of youth vitamin E. Secondly, the presence of folic acid, which is responsible for the regular renewal of body cells, including skin. Thirdly, the alkalizing minerals included in pomegranate. For example, potassium and phosphorus, as a means of strengthening bones and good condition of teeth. And of course, a beautiful smile. For emotional balance and mood swings, B vitamins, including B5, play their role in stabilizing emotions, to enhance reproductive functions, as a means of preserving skin elasticity and preventing wrinkles. For example, in cosmetology use various masks for the face and even from hair loss, to increase libido. The benefits of pomegranate for pregnant women. Is it possible for pregnant women to eat pomegranate? Not only can, but it is necessary. Pomegranate is especially beneficial not only for pregnant women, but also when breastfeeding, for the following reasons. As a natural balanced vitamin and mineral complex. Read more in the section Composition and Beneficial Properties of Pomegranate. To stabilize the mood of a woman in a position. As a product that strengthens the immunity of the mother. As a prevention of anemia and increase hemoglobin. To prevent edema. To bring pressure to normal. The benefits of pomegranate for women after 40 and 50 years old. Pomegranate for women after 40 is recommended for 2 reasons. As a prevention of osteoporosis and brittle bones. Due to its phosphorus and magnesium content. While the boron of pomegranate actively promote their absorption and mineralization of bone tissue. To prevent hormonal imbalance. Thus, boron from pomegranate activates the production of female sex hormones. What is useful pomegranate for the male body? For men, the benefits of pomegranate are as follows. Prevention of heart attacks and strokes, especially relevant for men after 40. Flavonoids and antioxidants. Pomegranate protects the arteries from damage and maintains their elasticity. Preservation of good hormonal levels. High testosterone levels provide vitality and energy. Healing of wounds and cuts. Extending the lifespan of joints and cartilage. Prevention of problems with the prostate. By preserving the working condition, feeding it, small vessels. Strengthening men's health, increasing libido and potency. By the way, studies of men from 24 to 60 years old, who for 3 months daily in the diet was a glass of pomegranate juice, showed an increase in testosterone levels by 2.5 times. Not for nothing pomegranate is considered an aphrodisiac.